Hi everyone, and welcome to the very last episode of K-Tapes for 2019. And to start this episode, I thought about bringing you a top 10 of perhaps the best tapes that I've been able to find in 2019. And let me tell you that it's been a very, very busy year, and I found so many great tapes, and it was extremely hard to actually find 10 best ones because there's so many that were great. That said, I just want to let you know that the ones I've selected now, the top 10 I've selected, are precisely for most of them tapes that perhaps I've never found before, or that are extremely hard to find, or that I happen to find in extremely good condition, or perhaps even a mix of all these three criterias. So let's start now with two tapes. So this goes for my tape number 10. So for position number 10, I selected two tapes, not one but two, that I find probably similar in rarity. It goes for Halloween 4, which I previously told you it was very hard to find. I found one copy this year. Actually, this is my second one, and it's overall my second one in life. I've never found any other copies before, and this one happens to be not as moldy as the previous one. So this one is in good shape. Well, it's not in perfect shape, but it's in much better shape than the previous one I found a couple of months ago. So this goes for number 10. I have Halloween 4. And also I have Zombie 2, which is actually Zombie from Lucio Fulci. And why this copy? Because I do have two more copies. So I have 3 copies sitting at home. That doesn't mean it's not rare. It's extremely rare still. But this copy here is absolutely gorgeous. It is near mint. It's unfaded on the spine. It's beautiful. I've never seen a copy like this. So that's why these two copies here make it position number 10. Position number 9. So for number 9 here, I have Mission Bloody Mary. This tape is quite hard to find. I've seen it online once. It was nearly $200 in Korea, that said. And this one, well, why is it hard to find is because some collectors in Korea do have a cult for those small boxes. They tend to be very collectible, even though there are not that many Korean collectors in Korea. And I mean, compared, let's say, to Japan, where there's like a ton of collectors of anything, but in Korea there's not that many tape collectors. They do love to collect the small tapes. So the small tapes, the small boxes, have a very good value in Korea. And this movie is particularly rare. It is the fake James Bond that was made with Sean Connery's brother right here. And it is in very good shape. I mean, it's slightly faded on the spine, but not much. So, and it also has the original Samsung clamshell. So a beautiful object here. I found this like very early this year. So this was my number 9. For number 8, I have W, War. This is a Filipino movie. It's the first time I ever see this tape. It's the first time I buy it, I find it. So this is extremely rare. And it's such a crazy film as well. And the copy is gorgeous. I mean, it could have been moldy or anything, but it's not. Even if I look inside, well, I've cleaned it before, but as you can see, it is beautiful, beautiful. So W for War. So this is my number 8. Number 7, we have Stone Boy. What happened with Stone Boy is I did find this copy here. Well, you might say, well, how come you have two copies? Well, it's not two copies. It is one film on two tapes. Sometimes it's hard to notice these things when you're, checking for tapes in Korea. But so if you look right here on the spine, you see there's tape number 1, tape number 2. So there are two tapes for this film, and I had part 1. I had part 2, this one, for a while. I've never found the part 1, and now I found the part 1, so I have a complete set. Of course, this one is much better looking than this one, but I mean, to get both tapes is already such a accomplishment. So I'm very proud of this finding this part 1 to have finally the full movie. So this was my number 7. So number 6, we have Lucio Fulci's The Beyond. So another Lucio Fulci film on my top 10. Previously you've seen Zombie, but this time I have The Beyond. And to be honest, this is the second copy I find in Korea. The previous one I found it perhaps, I would say maybe 7 years ago. So it's been a while since I've seen this tape around. And look at this, it is perfectly unfaded on the spine, so it's such a beautiful copy. So that's such an amazing find. I mean, not only I found the movie, but it's in gorgeous condition. So that goes for my number 6. Tape number 5, we have Maniac. Maniac is not a very old tape, as I previously said. It's been released like around 2002. Well, let me check. Yeah, 2002. So this is not like such an old film or anything, but it's so damn rare. And I think me and my friend, who also collects Korean tapes, he has a copy, I have one. So that makes 2 copies that I know of, and there are no other copies. And not to brag or anything, but I do think this is the nicest of the 2 copies. I think it's slightly less faded than on the spine here than my friend's copy. So it makes it for a very, very rare item, sitting at number 5. For number 4, here we have a movie, Korean erotic film that is supposed to be set in North Korea. I believe it's Baekdu Mountain or something. So if you don't know these, like the Baekdu Mountain, it's the mountain located between the north part of North Korea and between China. So this film has been supposedly shot there. I don't think it was, but anyway, it goes into what we call the North Explorer, which is like a exploration of North Korea within like Korean erotica. It's pretty funny subgenre, pretty interesting also at the same time. And all those movies came out around 2000, 1998 to 2002, I must say. And also this tape is on 2, it's a double casing, it's a double clamshell, and it's extremely hard to find. I mean, I've been after this for so many years, and now I found it. So I mean, it's beyond rare. Part 1 is not. I found part 1 like a few times, but part 2 is beyond rare. So that's why this makes it to number 4. For number 3, I decided to put Lady Terminator. This film is not rare by any means. It has a DVD Blu-ray. Does it have a Blu-ray? No, it doesn't. It has a DVD release by Mondo Macabro. There are several other VHS releases around the world, English friendly and everything, but the Korean tape, I didn't know it existed. I'm always on the lookout for Indonesian films, and I never thought this movie has been released on tape in Korea, so this is such a surprise. By the way, there are other Indonesian films that are extremely rare that I found also only 1 copy, but I decided to put this one on the top 10 because it's perhaps the most well-known out of the other films I found. So Lady Terminator goes definitely position number 3 on my top 10 list. For number 2, maybe some Kung Fu lovers will love this one. This is Guards of Shaolin. again, it's not supposed to be rare or anything, because I know there's a DVD, there are a few tapes lying around. But the thing with this tape, well, first of all, it's a small case, so it means it's been released a very long time ago, sometimes before 1987, so it's quite rare and very old. Also, what's special about this tape is that it is the Korean version of the movie, and that means there are additional scenes that you cannot find on any other versions. It's exclusive to this Korean VHS. So that's what makes it very rare. Also, the last time I looked around, this tape was valued around $200, and that is in Korea. To find this outside of Korea is pretty hard. So that's why this sits at number 2. And now for our grand finale. I don't know if you can figure out which tape I'm gonna pull out, but yes, it has to be Puma Man. This tape, I didn't know it existed. It came out like a few weeks ago when I was looking under a huge mattress in one of those old school video stores, and that was like the last place I had to check in the store, and you cannot imagine how surprised I was when I found that. It's just the tape, again, the tape is not like perfect, but it's so rare. It's like just incredible. So this had to be number 1. Again, all the other tapes, I mean, they're all number 1s for me, but if you really want to count down for which one was the rarest, which one could be valued the most, I would have to go with Puma Man, because this is really hard to find. And well, I found it, and it's right there in my collection. So thank you everyone. I hope you enjoyed my video, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet, and see you guys again in 2020. Take care and Happy New Year.